and welcome back to Asagao Academy. Now, what were we doing? We were playing the game? I don't remember doing this, but okay. Well, did we do that? I don't remember doing this. Yeah, I don't think we talked to Caddy yet. I held the right trigger button, forcing blocks to lift from the floor. It was how I like to begin matches, even in single-player rounds. I liked having more blocks to play with. It helped me get better chains, and honestly, it felt better to look at. As I set up my first combo, I glanced up at my score. It had been 2 minutes, and yet my score was so low. Even intermediate players know to focus on score instead of time. Shane popped into my head, and as he did, my hand slipped. I covered the wrong block, and my 11 chain combo vanished from view. No! Are you kidding me? I sighed, starting over from scratch. Also, awesome. No face cam today, because I just don't look great. So I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back, and now I'm not running the risk of my laptop dying while recording. Cool. I sighed, starting over from scratch. Jared told me to give Shane time to sulk, but would he really forgive me if I let him wallow? Here's Caddy. Hey, Hannah. How was there ever a bad time to apologize? What if he got mad that I didn't? What if it seemed like half-hearted by the time I finally did? Hannah? Caddy tapped my forehead. Caddy, what are you doing here? Could be asking you the same thing. Not going to eat with the rest of them. He pointed at my phone, a glint in his eye. Oh, you know, just practicing. Caddy sighed and took a seat on the bench with me. So, something's on your mind, right? I heard about what was up with Shane. Is it really bothering you that much? I'm not sure what I should do. I want to apologize to him, but Jared said it'd make things worse. I can't help feeling like it's the only option I have. Why do you feel like you have to? It doesn't seem to me like you have much to be worried about. Not much to be worried about? He doesn't even look at me anymore. He stumps around, completely ignoring me. He even turns his head away. It has to be on purpose. Caddy lifted a brow at my sudden outburst, but didn't seem shaken by it at all. He wafted his hand through the air, as if dispersing the moment from time. Hannah, you make it sound like you've been doing nothing but staring at him every waking moment. Does he really give anyone attention if they aren't talking to him? I haven't seen anyone have a word for him for a good while now. Just as you said, he stumps around, dragging his feet, barely alive. Yet somehow, he's more productive than ever. He leaned towards me, talking in a slight whisper. Shane's not the kind of person to hide his anger. If he really has a problem with someone, he'll do what he has to work it out. I should know. One time the British Student Coalition was split down the middle. It was a nightmare. I balked. The idea that Shane wasn't angry with me was harder to believe than the fact that Asagao had a secret society reserved specifically for foreign students. Then why has he been like this? And why hasn't he told us what's wrong? Wish I knew. For whatever reason, he finds it easier to disappear. No warning, no goodbyes, no anything, just the absence of Shane. Don't take it personally, Hannah. Seriously, if he was mad at you, you'd know. Think of it as Shane's super secret seclusion season. There's a reason for it, but that reason is for him and only him to know. I glanced down at my phone, small armies dancing across the screen. If this was all true, maybe I really should leave him alone. Caddy leaned over to examine my screen. That game's harder when you're playing against other people, right? Way harder. Anyways, thanks for your help, but why are you out here instead of having lunch with Hidden Block? Oh, you know, just wanting to get some fresh air, and I saw you sitting here. No other reason. He chuckled nervously, then stood. Well, it's about time for class. I'll see you around, Hannah. Bye. Bye, Caddy. See you at the tournament. Computer, shut up. Caddy turned and screamed at me from the hall halfway down the walk. You're going against us! Will I? Okay. I watched Caddy go, feeling a little bit unsettled. Everyone kept saying I shouldn't apologize to Shane, but I wasn't so sure. I almost killed him after all. Shouldn't I at least give it a shot? Now, I remember reading somewhere that we shouldn't let him walk all over us, so we're going to let it be. He can brood on his own if he wants to. It's like, oh yeah, I want to get this boy to fall in love with me, but at every opportunity I'm doing something to make him hate me. I should just let him be. The others were right. He will come around eventually. There we go. Haha. But as time went on, my faith in Shane started to shake. A straight week passed and he still hadn't spoken to me. Everyone kept telling me not to worry and that Shane wouldn't be mad, that Shane wasn't the type of guy to let it get to him, or that I had to let him cool off. But at this point, I wasn't worried about him cooling off. I was worried about me. I couldn't get it out of my mind. At lunch, in class, I was always staring at him and wondering whether we were cool. Ask him! I almost never saw Shane in the mornings anymore. He always slipped into class seconds before the bell rang. Hi. Oh, there he goes. That's why, when I saw him rushing into Poppy Hall that morning, I found myself hesitating. Hey, go on without me. I need to grab something real quick. Really? But, sorry. Bye. So I slipped after him, following him through the halls. I had to finally talk to him. I couldn't live with this on my mind every hour, every day. I kept a bit of distance between us, hoping he wouldn't turn around and see me. Would this be easier if I had a disguise? I eyeballed the trash can in the middle of the hall. Shane turned up the staircase ahead of me. I waited a minute before following up to a heavy door, leading outside to the rooftop. We have a rooftop? I had no idea this place even existed, and it's so pretty. I think you can get onto the roof at my school. I think we can. It's just locked all the time. I had no idea this place even existed. That's what makes me jealous of Japan. You guys can just go on your rooftop whenever you want. We have to keep it locked. Look, they even have benches. I peeked out of the window, set inside the door, but all I could make out was the bright turquoise of Shane's normal boots jacket. He was crouched over something. What was he doing? I took a deep breath and pushed the door open as silently as I could. Aww, he's watering the flowers. He's so sweet. Shane stood over a box lined with blooming flowers, watering can in hand. He was watering the plants. A light breeze swept across the rooftop, stirring his hair and the leaves. They looked almost like they were trembling with happiness. I must have gasped or made some other noise, because Shane looked over his shoulder. Hi, Hannah. I'm sorry. Don't be. Are you the gardener? Yeah, I get up early anyway. As he turned towards me, his watering can swung with him. Little droplets of water shook off, dotting the concrete. Why don't you come and sit? You're being oddly friendly. Really? He stared at me blankly. As I hastily crossed over to a bench and sat down. It wasn't every day Shane was so open after all. I clasped my hands together, watching Shane water the plants. It was just the two of us and the sky, and it didn't feel weird at all. Usually the silence between us made me uncomfortable, and I spent all my energy trying to fill it. But this was nice. You weren't ignoring me then. That's a relief. Oh no, I was. Awesome! Cool! Great! What? Originally, I was just hoping we wouldn't acknowledge it. And then I got this job. I'm not ready. 1 minute. Okay, I'm back. What was I supposed to do? I don't know. He lifted up his watering can and started pouring it out on a single flower. For a while. I didn't know how to approach you. I know you felt bad. And so much time passed there was no way to acknowledge it. At least you don't hate me. Shane chuckled softly, the last few drops of water falling onto the poor flower. Of course not. He picked up a pair of clippers, and now, with almost no ceremony, snipped off a wilting leaf at the stem. Firstly you drowned the poor thing, then you could have perfectly healthy leaves? He stopped, looking between the clipped foliage and me. Who hired you to be the gardener? Shane looked sadly down at his maimed plant. No one else wanted to do it. I couldn't let them die. Shane. No, I was just joking. But, they're not going to like you after they see what you've done to their friends. Do you want some help? Shane looked at his plants, then back to me. They're not bad. They actually look quite healthy. But my mother used to garden. I know a lot about plants because of that. I joined him at the box, and he offered me his watering can. Stop messaging me! Thanks. Oh! 1 minute. Okay, I'm back. Hopefully, I won't be interrupted anymore. I crouched low. Oh, he's blushing! Examining the plant he was just tending. Don't cut off stems that aren't completely dead. They'll perk up eventually with some water and sunlight. For some reason, being near plants made me lower my voice, like I was talking to a child or someone who was scared. I didn't want to alarm them. I wanted them to feel safe. Shane nodded, staring hard at the plant. Knowing him, he was committing the information to memory. Maybe I should come up with you in the mornings. I have to make sure you don't kill the flowers after all. Fair enough, Flower Queen. Why didn't you tell me about this anyways? I didn't want to tell the guys. Now that I thought about it, I didn't blame him. They'd never let him live it down. It's really great you're doing this. It's nothing really. Look at the blush, he's such a cutie. I handed the watering can back to Shane, and he took it to a dusty little shed in the corner of the roof. I followed him to the door, scanning the garden as I went. Oh, an Asagao flower! A morning glory bloomed in the box next to me. I didn't know they grew here. It's kind of the name of the school. That's right, Asagao Academy. Of course they had them around. It was the first one to show up this spring. My mum used to grow morning glories. She loved them. Did she garden a lot? She did, when she was still around. Oh, sorry. Nice one, Shane. After she passed away, my dad tried to take care of her flowers. They died too. She was an amazing gardener, though. People loved her flowers, and she loved them like they were her own children. Hana means flower. I like to think that's why she named me that, after the things that brought her the most joy. We both stood in silence, watching the single blue flower tremble in the breeze. It'll be great to see them around here, especially if you're taking such good care of them. I took a deep breath. I accepted my mother's death a long time ago, but I almost never talked about it. I wasn't even sure whether Mai knew. They will be great, with your help. This might not be the best for me to say this, but I've been thinking. Shane studied the skyline. I turned and joined him, watching the clouds billow over the distant green mountains. About you. On the team, I mean. I know how hard you've worked to get better at Dumby-Doom's revenge. While you're not where we all like it to be, I want you on the team. You do? Yes. That's it? Yes. You're not going to make me jump through any more hoops? Another skill test? Some homework? A list of combo techniques? No, no more of that. I'm sorry I gave you a hard time. I just wanted to make sure you had the potential. And he finally saw it. What does that say? Okay, cool. We're gonna save! Yes. And he finally saw it. Thanks. It means a lot that you changed your mind. You know I'd do my best. When you fail, it'll just be more of an I told you so. Shane! He raised his hands up, feigning innocence. Let's go to class before I find a way to blackmail you. Oh, it's really cute. Shut up, computer. Shane and I started meeting on the rooftop early every morning. In no time, I was caring for the flowers under his gentle guidance. So this is the one, huh? I tilted my watering can over the richly purple irises. They remind me of morning glories. Shane stepped from behind the other flower aisle, a large and oddly shaped watering can in his hands. They get that a lot. He tipped the watering can, and instead of watering in one spot as I expected, the can watered 9. Whoa, that's incredible! A gardener's got to look after his tools too. Siberian irises need tons of water. The smallest difference can change whether something lives or dies. That should be good. We're running late. I checked my phone, realizing for the first time exactly how late we were. We rode to the first floor, hoping class hadn't started. We would never hear the end of it if we showed up late together, not just from the class, but from Miss Shizuka. As we neared the door, John poked his head out. Aww. Was he cooing at us? It almost seemed like he was imitating Jacques. Shane narrowed his eyes. What? John slid into the classroom as we approached. Miss Shizuka must not have been in yet. Shane and I walked into the classroom together, so relieved to be on time, that we didn't give the action much thought. But right on cue. Ooh! Oh, they know. So why can't it just be a thing? Shane stopped in the doorway, arms crossed. Really? Gee, you two are together an awful lot lately, don't you think? You could call them a duo. Maybe even a pair or a couple. I can't stop laughing. There was something about what they were saying that seemed rehearsed. Shane's glares could have pierced metal. I didn't think the others minded. Come to think of it, I don't think this is a recent development. I do believe you're correct. This strange togetherness has been going on for a while now, hasn't it? Shane stepped to my side and leaned into my ear. Ignore them. Whew! John's eyes glittered as he watched Shane pull away. He whistled. Whew! Sharing sweet nothings already. Guys, really, that's enough. Sorry, Hannah. You gotta admit, you two have been together an awful lot lately. If people didn't know any better, they might get a few ideas. Ian nudged John in the side. Oh, right. John lifted his arms over his head, then brought them down slowly, exaggeratedly, to rest on my shoulders. Dramatic. Hannah, in honor of you're solving the most difficult of puzzles. He shot a look at Shane, who balked. We hereby crown you an official puzzle master. Oh, neat. What does that mean? Nothing, really. Oh. Shane sighed, then bypassed him on the way to his seat. I've got pins and needles in my foot! Might want to stop. Shizuka's coming. We scrambled to our desks. I couldn't help but feel something was off. They might be calling me the puzzle master, but I felt like this puzzle was far from solved. Shane? Yes, Hannah? He didn't even look up, so absorbed in what he was transplanting in transplanting a bunch of lilies from one box to another. I realized today I don't know much about you. Shane made no move to respond, as I expected. Trying to get the circulation back into my foot. It's just that I feel like everyone knows more about you than I do. We haven't been friends that long. Nothing personal. Well, why'd you leave England? You never talk about it. I wanted to. Okay. Why did you want to? The timing was good. Bullshit. Okay, but why was that? It worked out like that. Shane, you're being difficult. All my attempts to get to know Shane turned into this kind of verbal dodgeball match. Never mind. He rolled up his sleeves and began to pat down the dirt he'd laid around the flower. I stood nearby, a watering can in hand. Sorry, Hannah, nothing to tell. As much as I could believe Shane led a boring life, I felt like there was more to it. But if Shane didn't want to tell me, he wasn't going to. I shouldn't push it. Especially since he only recently began to trust me. Ready to water? Right. I lifted the pot over the lilies. Steady. Right now, all of Shane's attention was on the planting process. Part of me understood. Lilies had a thing about wilting when you didn't plant them exactly right. But part of me also felt like his focus was incredibly sharp for someone so used to gardening. Oh, there we go, my throat's starting to hurt. I finished watering the lilies, and Shane examines their leaves. I'm gonna go get some fertilizer from the art closet. Why would it be in the art closet? Good idea. The art closet was the biggest supply closet in the school, so that was where Shane put his fertilizer, to the art students' frustration. I charged down the staircase and into the hallway, only to be immediately accosted. Hannah! What? John called to me from the hallway down the hall, Jimmy glaring next to him. Help me enlighten Jimmy. This kid here doesn't think Cole is the best character in Steven Galaxy. Huh. That's because Mirror is the best. You see this, Hannah? Jim likes the inanimate object. Cole isn't alive either. It was, once. I prefer Mirror to Cole, actually. Sorry, John. What? But Cole has 3 eyes. Oh. I wonder who that one is. John was left speechless, completely unable to defend his objectively inferior character. But... Good job, Hannah. Whatever. Anyways, where's Shane? Aren't you two usually together right about now? Really? What's this about? I glared at both of them, not deigning to give John the satisfaction of being flustered. I'm going to grab something, that's all. Sure, I'm sure that's all it is. John chuckled, and I resisted the urge to punch him. But then a thought occurred to me. If John was close enough to Shane to make fun of him, you and Shane are good friends, right? Yeah, he's probably one of my best friends. Why? I wanted to know more about Shane, but obviously if Shane didn't want to tell me, I wasn't supposed to know. But Shane didn't seem like he would ever tell me, or anyone else. He didn't seem the type to talk about himself. Couldn't I just ask John? No, we're not gonna push the subject until Shane wants to talk. If you say so. Really, it's fine. I didn't want to pry or be nosy. If Shane found out that I knew because John told me, it would be a breach of trust. Not to mention, John would probably get in trouble too. But that didn't stop me from wanting to know. We'll find out later. It's fine. Just ask Shane yourself. I feel like he'd been more open with you about than us. Hey. Maybe. But I should get going. I was supposed to be right back. Any longer and he'll know something's up. Best of luck, Hannah. When I got back to the roof, Shane was waiting near the door, both our bags in his hand. Fertilizer? Ah! I ran into John and Jimmy and completely forgot. Let me go back. I pivoted and started back down the stairs, but Shane grabbed the collar of my shirt and pulled me back. Class is starting. There's always tomorrow. Right. I tried to take my bag from him, but Shane walked right past me. Shane? What? Was he trying to carry my bag for me? Didn't you need to lock the door? Oh, right. Oh, okay, so they do lock the door. He put my bag under his arm and locked the door to the roof. Then he headed back down the stairs. Coming? Yeah, right behind you. Shane. Sweet when you least expected it. He's such a cutie! Oh! Rooftop. Shane didn't text me often, or at all. So when I got this text from him, I assumed something must be up. In fact, I was worried. I threw on my uniform, then ran to the rooftop. The wind blew hard against the door, and it took all of my strength to push it open. Shane sat alone on a bench, staring wistfully into the skyline. I rushed to his side. Shane? Are you okay? He jolted as if woken from a reverie. Then he stared blankly at me. I'm fine. Oh. Another gust of wind blew through the space between us, chilling me down to my bone. I drew my uniform's coat tight around me, mentally cursing the thin fabric. I was sleeping when you texted me. Oh, sorry. He didn't seem to want to say anything else. Finally, I sat next to him. As I did, he scooted an inch away. I sighed, my breath turning to fog in front of me. It's cold out tonight. Yeah. We sat in silence for a few moments. Shane didn't seem cold at all, but then Shane also had his normal boots jacket. Those things looked to be toasty as heck. How was your night? Fine. I nodded slowly. Why did he call me up here? He wasn't giving me anything to work with. Anything specific I can help with? Not really. Oh, well, that's good, I think. I trailed off, fiddling with loose strings on my sleeve. I'd have to cut it off later. Yeah. My teeth chattered and I gritted them to stop from making noise. Shut up, computer! It was still up on the rooftop. There was no sound aside from the wind, cutting across the edges of buildings. Asagao was far enough away from the city and the streets that it almost like being in another world, an oasis of nature and academia. Now that I thought about it, it was probably intentional. The silence was nice, but it really was freezing out. He wasn't saying anything, and I was dying of cold. I was starting to lose my patience. I closed my eyes and took a few deep breaths. I think I'm going to head back to the dorms. Want to come with? Shane shook his head. All right, well, I'm heading in. I looked meaningfully at him. Okay. All right, see you in class. What? What was the point of that? I stood, my knees creaking, and started away. But Shane grabbed my hand. Almost instantly he released it. You're being rude. What? Shane never spoke so directly to me, or to anyone, in such an insulting way. I was trying to talk. No, I didn't experience any of that trying. You weren't saying anything. How was it my fault? How am I being the one being rude? I couldn't think of anything to say. He looked away, his head dropping onto his chest. He really did seem kind of sad. You don't know me well, right? Maybe I can fix that. Aww. I sat back down on the bench, closer to Shane. This time he didn't move away. Oh, we've just gone over time. So, by a couple of seconds, but whatever. So we're going to leave it there. We will get to know more about Shane in the next episode. So, thank you all very much for watching. I will see you next weekend. Bye-bye.